Hello, I'm Rainey. Welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you how to make my Cherry Bakewell layer cake, but with a twist. So stay tuned, I promise you it'll be delicious. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. It's really great to have you here today and I hope that you'll consider subscribing. And if you're already a subscriber, then don't forget to hit that little bell button and you'll get notified every time I post a new video. But without further ado, let's start this video.
For the cake you will need 8 ounces of self-raising flour, 4 ounces of plain flour and 3 ounces of ground almonds sifted together. You will also need 8 ounces of caster sugar and 8 ounces of butter in a mixing bowl. You will need a good quality vanilla, I get mine from the cake shop, and also a good quality almond extract or essence, and then 4 large eggs. To make the cherry compote, I cheated a little bit. I used frozen mixed fruits that had cherries in them because I couldn't find just frozen cherries. And there's a little cheating trick that you can do for this, which I'll show you later. And that was a 500 gram bag, and then I used 250 grams of granulated sugar. But obviously you can reduce this if you would prefer a more tart flavour. And then for the glacé icing, you will need 4 ounces of icing sugar with 20 to 30 ml of milk, depending on how runny you want it, or you could use lemon juice if you prefer. So to make your cherry compote, you want to put your frozen mixed fruit into a saucepan on a low heat and add your sugar to it, and then you just want to keep stirring very gently until it all starts to become liquid. Keep stirring until your fruit starts to break down and your mixture becomes very liquid. And at this point you want to add in a little bit of almond extract. Now what this does is it really brings out the kind of cherry flavour, and I don't quite understand the science behind it, but it really works. So even though there's lots of other fruits in this mixture, because you've added in that almond extract, it will make your mixture taste like an authentic cherry compote. Once your compote has reduced down a little bit, it is ready to take off the heat and cool down to room temperature. Now to make your cake, you want to cream together your butter and your caster sugar, either using a stand mixer or a handheld mixer, and you're just going to cream it together until it becomes light and fluffy. Once you're happy with the consistency, it's then time to start adding in your eggs. So I do this one at a time, and then I always add a spoonful of the flour mixture into it, just to help prevent the mixture from curdling. Once all your eggs are added, you want to then just give it a little blast in the mixer, and then you're going to scrape down your bowl just to make sure that all of that mixture is well combined, and then you want to give it a final quick beat. Now you're going to add in your vanilla and your almond extract, and I don't measure these, I literally just do a splash of each. And then you want to give it another quick beat before adding in the rest of your flour and ground almond mixture. And then you're going to give it a final mix, really just to combine all the ingredients together. You don't want to beat this, so you want to do it on quite a low speed, and I tend to pulse it at the beginning just to ensure that my flour doesn't fly around everywhere. And then once I'm happy with it, it is time to scrape down my beater, because I hate wasting any of that gorgeous cake mix. And then I will give it one final mix by hand. Next, it is time to put it all together to make this Cherry Bakewell Ripple Layer Cake, and I am using 2 loaf tins that are 10 by 5 inches, and I think they're about 3 inches deep, and I have lined them with parchment paper. I've actually left quite a lot of overhang, and that's just because it'll make it really easy to pull it out at the end. And then here is the secret to the name of this cake, because with a traditional cake you would normally bake your layers first and then you would sandwich them together with some jam or buttercream or whatever you normally like to do. But for this recipe we have obviously made our cherry compote and we are sandwiching the layers together before baking it. So we're sandwiching the compote on top of the cake batter, and then we're going to do another layer of cake batter, and then of course it's a ripple cake because you're going to take a skewer and run that skewer through each of the layers just to help it combine. Now originally when I tried this recipe I didn't ripple it, and what I found is that in the baking process the jam layer or the compote layer, it stopped the cake from fusing together, so that when you cut into it, it kind of fell apart a bit. Whereas I found that with rippling it, it looks really, really cool, but also it helps to make the cake a lot more stable because it helps to mix the cake mix into the compote. Now when you're rippling with your skewer, less is definitely more. You don't want to overmix it, so just do a few big broad strokes and you're pretty much there. Next you want to pop them into the middle of an oven preheated to 170 degrees for about 45 minutes, or until a skewer inserted into the centre of the cake comes out clean. And then finally, to make your glacé icing, you want to add your milk into your icing sugar a little at a time, and then I just used a fork and just keep gently stirring, bringing more of the icing sugar from the outside into the middle until I'm happy with the consistency. I actually had to get a little bit more milk because I only did 20 mils and needed probably nearer 30. And then just keep stirring it until you get the consistency that you are happy with. Once your cakes have cooled, you want to pop them out onto the plate that you're going to serve them on, and there you can see why I line my cakes the way that I do in a loaf tin, because those 2 little flaps on the side just mean that I can pull them out really easily. And I did have a little bit of trouble getting the parchment paper to come away from the cake, because where the compote had caramelized a little bit on the outsides, it was sticking to the paper, but I just used a knife and was able to pull those off. And then literally I just drizzled some glacé icing over the top, and I experimented. I was thinking of just doing sort of zigzaggy lines, but then thought, no, hang on a sec, a proper Cherry Bakewell has a good healthy amount of icing on the top normally, so that's what I went for. And so this was the finished result, and I think it just looks really beautiful, really rustic, and those ripples inside just absolutely scrummy, and I can tell you it was utterly delicious.
So that's it guys, that's it for this cake tutorial. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video and that you have a go at making this awesomely delicious cake. And of course, if you do have a go at making it, I would love to hear about it. So let me know what you thought in the comments below. Let me know how it went and what you thought of the cake. I'd be so excited to hear your views. And of course, if you take pictures of it and if you're on Instagram, then you can share your photos with me on there. I am Rainy S. Johnson. So just click follow and you'll be able to share those with me. So thank you so much for watching this, guys. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!